Hi friends and welcome. Today we are here to watch season 3, episode 3 of Angel called This Old Gang of Mine. I'm not gonna lie, I do have Buffy on my mind, but I am compartmentalizing right now and we're gonna talk about Angel. Okay, this episode, I mean, just based off the way that the last episode ended and the title of this episode, right, That Old Gang of Mine, this just makes it feel like we're gonna be talking about Darla. There's no way that we aren't talking about Darla, right? I hate saying things with this much confidence because it just makes me feel like I'm going to be so wrong just because I'm saying with a lot of like gusto or whatever, but I have a feeling that this has to be a Darla-centric episode. I'm not sure if Angel would be finding out about, the whole yet, but I'm going to go with maybe. I think that would be so cool, such an interesting storyline, and I'm kind of just dying to see how he's going to react to this really enormous piece of information. And also kind of sucks to have his grief parallel something that would, for quite a lot of people be one of the biggest moments of happiness, of expecting a child. So that's going to be a very interesting, I'm not sure how he's going to feel about that. So I'm very, very curious. I do think my prediction has to be that the gang that's reuniting is Angel and Darla. And maybe, hopefully, also some Drusilla, because I love her so much. And I mean, if we're talking about a gang, then it kind of just, it just kind of makes sense that Drew would be there too, right? Because I don't think they'd bring in Spike. He's probably going through his own stuff. But yeah, I think that's kind of what I wanted to say. So I think we can just head into the reaction. So I thank you all so much for watching this with me. And we should head right to it. Are we ready for this? I am so ready to see Angel literally lose his mind. If he's not losing his mind, I don't want to see it. Okay, let's do it.
I'm ashamed how he treated you. And that was wrong of me.
Oh!
You made some notes.
Angel!
What does he want from me?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I want. I went back to 3 months I spent in therapy after being hung upside down in a sewer. That's what I want.
Merl, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
Take a shot, Merl.
Oh, no.
Come on, take it.
No, he's good.
What you got? Just
He's
scream,
he's
Merl.
good.
Come on,
No,
come on, Merl.
You see
Come on, Merl. Take a shot, Merl.
Okay.
Oh!
I'm sure Angel just forgot.
Oh, Angel.
I never want to see any of you ever again. So who's gonna give me a ride home?
Merl! I love him. I'm so sorry. He's on the right in this. I don't care. He is. I'm Team Merl here. Wait, is Merl gonna do some sketchy stuff? Merl.
No.
Oh. No, don't kill him! Don't kill him! No! They wouldn't. That's so mean. I hope they didn't kill off Merl. That would upset me. You can't do that to good characters. Has Buffyverse not gotten the memo that they shouldn't kill the good characters? Come on, guys. But at least that did not look like Darla, so once again, it seems like I have misinterpreted the title. I don't think Darla would have killed Merl. She wouldn't upset me like this, so.
Hey, big brother.
No! But she's dead. What is this somebody else from the gang? Oh, God.
Cordelia said y'all was down at Merle's, and what is that?
That's Merl.
Found some of his personal papers, an address book.
Ghost, where the fuck did you come from?
What's our interest?
Someone killed Merl.
What do you mean, what's... Sir?
I mean, he was what he was, right?
What's that supposed to mean?
It's different.
Usually doesn't take you 2 hours to answer a page, is all.
Excuse me, but did somebody put you back in charge? Because if they did, they forgot to tell me about it.
All right. Go home.
You know what? That's probably a real good idea.
I don't want our Merle-centric episode to be because he died. I want there to be a Merle-centric episode because he deserves a Merle-centric episode. Show me who he is before you kill him. No, even though that would probably hurt more. Whatever.
Nice rig.
I'm glad you like it.
He should. He built it.
I heard that you was like this big time alpha vamp killer. And now you working with one. What's up with that?
Gio.
It's called character growth.
You know, talk to her.
I'm not so sure that's a great idea.
Oh, it is.
She's sweet and adorable and seems to be laughing at something that Shrub just said. Fine, we'll check.
Yes.
Enemies of Merl list.
Merl and I were not enemies?
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Oh, sure, yeah. I went dark and I killed Merl.
Sir, what? Don't even joke about that.
Things, they were never the same after Alana. Couldn't keep my own sister safe. What could I do for the rest of you? A lot, man.
That's why he left?
There's people alive today because of something you started. Something we started. Got that right.
Oh, this man's about to die. He's about to die, isn't he? That was too nice of a scene.
Samuel Larch, a bookie. Merl owed him quite a lot of money.
I think when we find whatever's doing this, we're gonna need Gunn.
Don't make that noise. This is disgusting. What?
Push there, please.
What the hell?
Smoke him, Gio!
Gio, are you behind all of this? That was a nice little demon man. He was doing nothing wrong except really, really bothering me with the noises he was making. But would it not be a supernatural threat? That'd be interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's really cool.
We bust our butts day and night till we find whatever it was that did Merle and this large guy. So we find this demon killer machine. What then? We gonna stop it or thank it?
Stop it. Gunn.
You don't know.
What? Guys!
No history of violence, no threat to anyone.
See?
Balancing entity. They tend to nest in urban areas.
Oh, Gunn. He knows.
I think you got a rogue on your crew. Your boy Gio has been out there killing anything that moves. Now somebody, meaning you, has got to have a sit down with him, man. But did it attack anybody? We didn't give it a chance to.
Sir.
Primo hunt? Nah, man. Be good.
And he's not even like, oh, wow.
He still thinks you're some kind of hero. Yeah, we know better.
Jesus Christ. I don't know if love is the right word, but I think it's so interesting that they're not even trying to lie to Gunn and pretend like it wasn't them because they think they're doing the right thing. So for them, there's no point in lying or like, you know, hiding it from Gunn because, you know, because for them, it's like, it's the right thing. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, you startled me. I'm sorry. No.
That's so me.
Angel wants you to get out.
Don't phrase it like that. Cordelia, fucking Chase.
I'll only have a few things to pack. It won't take long. No, Fred. What if we went out together?
Please.
Much later.
I think it'd be fun to have had an affair with Fred.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You get the idea.
You'll be standing on a stage in the white hot spotlight. I will?
Cordy, that's what you want. I want them to go to Caritas. Like, come on, it's safe. It's fun. It's safe. Okay, Gunn, I'm gonna need you to loop the squad into this. Please tell our squad.
There's a larger purpose behind every move.
What?
To have fun.
That's fucked up.
Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, she picked out the song herself.
You wanted, and then someday
Jesus, Lorne, you scared me.
Hey! Don't go reading me.
I wouldn't. But sweetie, you're a billboard.
It's interesting that Lorne's reading him, like, without even singing. What the fuck? Oh my god, because they said that the violence was only for demons. Fuck! Y'all, what? No. That is fucked up. Oh, Fred! She's gonna be even more traumatized.
Charlie Gunn.
Bro. He knows he's there and he still targeted it and like...
Right here.
His best friend's a vampire.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Lorne, stay there. Don't move.
The man wants some answers.
Yes, I think we all would.
Lorne.
Hey! Look at it! You don't know what you're doing, Rondell.
You knew.
I should have said something. I was going to. I was just...
We can have this discussion at a later time.
I'm sorry. You gonna apologize to this thing? Move.
Bro.
Is it protecting your own to break into other people's homes?
They ain't people. Are you?
Stop!
Cordy, can people stop putting themselves into these situations? Everybody stop.
Let him go, man.
Yeah. We ain't monsters.
Just one. Her. She can go.
Rondell, come on, man.
I'm not leaving here without her. No way.
Cordy! If y'all touch Fred again, I swear. This guy pointed a gun to Cordy and Fred. I am going to need him to very politely just go fuck off.
And this is a bad plan, and I'll tell you why. It's their plan. They want you to go in there where you can't.
That's a good point.
Look, I want you to go to this address.
What is it?
Transuding Furies.
Gazoon tight.
Tell them to lift the spell, then I'll be able to fight back.
Oh.
Angel. I told her she'd be safe with me.
Poor Fred, man.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Oh, yikes.
You're everything
Please look at them.
Angel walks in here, they'll kill him.
They're gonna make me do
You are the wind beneath my wings.
She's holding on to him so tightly. It's for the best, sir. Oh my god.
Miami.
Did you say something to me, Green Boy?
I know why you left.
Oh.
Right up until the end, she trusted you. Did you know that?
No, hey, I was trying to run!
No, 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 no.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Watch the door!
Oh, Gunn. Nice.
Who does he draw down on? Baby killing monster? Nope. Me, that's who. What does that tell you?
Tells me it's a whole lot of monsters in this room to choose from.
You ain't even good enough for the vamps, the demons, and the baby-eating monsters. Woo. And all that we heard about his sister might not be quite right. He was the only one there to see it.
Oh, stop. Don't bring her up.
Is that why you up in here trucking with vamps and demons, thinking you gonna get you a little piece of that action?
I said shut up!
Gunn.
This is a sanctuary.
Not anymore, it ain't.
Don't say that.
Am I next?
Maybe, Angel. Maybe. Who the fuck knows? These people are all insane.
Now's your chance, G. This thing ain't no friend to you.
When he did his pleasure killing, he had no soul. You can make no such claim.
Wow. Good point.
Take a look. This is what I am.
Angel? What's happening? It's not like he's gonna kill you.
Angel. Yeah. Any chance you can pull the plug on that, like now, for instance? Kind of an emergency.
You would have us lift what has been put in place.
If you don't, Angel will die.
Angel.
What the fuck?
Truth is, he can never be my friend. It's on account of what he is.
And you're gonna choose that over me?
Looks like. It's about the mission, bro.
Do what your friend here wouldn't. Kill the vampire.
What the hell is wrong with this man?
Who wants to live?
Fred, what is she doing? Fred, sit down, please. Fred. Sweetie. There's no way. It's part of a plan, Fred. Right? Right?
Only Angel is equipped to make good on this debt.
And when you say equipped, that isn't what you mean, is it?
Angel.
Stop saying that!
Ew. I'm sorry.
Fred is not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. No.
I understand.
You don't have to. She's gonna shoot him, right?
Although I thought I might just shoot you in the throat instead. Or you won't even be able to scream. But you'll want to when the blood loss to your brain results in a cerebrovascular event. That's a stroke. I wasn't trying to sound snooty.
Thank you, ladies.
Let's fucking go!
I don't even know why I came out to this coast. LA sucks. You're lucky I have my own group. Oh, did you?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, that's what he deserved, but oh my god.
Whatever choice we do end up making, we feel as though we've betrayed someone.
Yeah.
If you ever withhold information or attempt to subvert me again, I will fire you. Bag and baggage, out of a job onto the streets.
So now you're gonna get on me about all those things I said to you in there.
No.
Doesn't mean I meant any of it.
No, you meant all of it, but that's okay. I don't know either. But I got time.
Funny.
I think I proved that you could trust me when I could have killed you and I didn't.
No. You'll prove I can trust you when the day comes that you have to kill me. And you do.
Sir, what? What did you say? Aw, there's no Darla scene at the end? That's disappointing. I'm gonna need to hear him say that again. He doesn't say this. That's Angel, sir. Wow. Like, he doesn't say it in the sense of, like, if there ever comes a point where you need to kill me, he says when. Like, it's a certainty. My man, that is not a certainty. Jesus Christ, I feel like this really just shows that Angel lives his entire life just waiting to go back to Angelus. Because, come on, I figured that he was actually saying the truth when he was talking about how Angel wasn't his friend because it actually felt genuine. Because I feel like he wouldn't really be able to buy time if the things that he was saying weren't actually coming from a place of truth. Because everybody would just call bullshit, right? So, like, it felt true, but at the same time, it doesn't. Because I'm like, what do you mean you guys are not friends? Of course you're friends. Of course you're freaking friends. But I wonder if for Gunn, it really is more about the mission than it is about helping Angel, I guess. That's just not the perspective that I had on him. It was a really, really interesting episode. I think it's funny that, like, when I finished the last episode and I saw the title of this one, I thought that it would either have to do with Darla or I thought it would have to do with Gunn. Just because, you know, like I said, gang reminds me of, like, the Darla, Drew, Spike, Angel of it all. But then it also reminds me of Gunn's, you know, older gang, because I don't think any of the other characters really have other friends except for Gunn. So I feel like it had to go in an either or, but for some reason I didn't even feel the need to talk about Gunn in the beginning of this episode because, I don't know, like, I thought about it a little and I was like, no, I don't really think we're going to go down the Gunn route. I really think this has to do with Darla because of the way that the last episode ended. So I didn't even mention it because I was like, I think I was just wrong with that prediction about it possibly being about Gunn. And then it turns out the whole episode was about Gunn. Which, by the way, is also interesting because this makes me feel that, like, the next episode might be a Wes-centric episode. And I'd be curious to know if I'm right. But, you know, the first episode was, you know, very Angel-centric and then Cordy-centric and then now Gunn-centric. So we already know what's coming next, right? I feel like it's got to be a Wes-centric episode. Or at least I would be excited if it was. But back to Gunn. Like, I feel like it was a lot of reveals this episode, you know, it was quite interesting. I feel like I don't necessarily agree with the way that he was carrying himself in the first half of the episode when he's trying to convince the squad that maybe it's not worth following up on these deaths and finding out, you know, why this is happening and who's doing this, you know, like Merl was their friend, okay? I'm really upset about Merl right now. He's such a fun character that we get to see sometimes. I feel genuinely upset that they would do something like this. He was defending demons, you know, by the end of the episode, so I don't understand. It felt like quite a change in personality. I don't know if maybe this was just him coming to terms with that idea that like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, I don't know, maybe he got lost along the way and like in his head he was like, you know, demon's bad, but then when it comes to like the reality of it, he's like, no, actually demon's not bad because we don't want to kill Angel or Lorne or anything like that. So I'm really glad that the Geo guy got like hurt. No offense, that was a great death for him. You know, like, because there are some bad people, you know, like bad evil characters that you're like, maybe you can be redeemable. And I feel like I felt that way more about his like friend, the one that we've known for longer. I can't exactly remember his name. But he felt like he was a little bit more being carried by the mission and what was happening than actually like, than Geo, who was like literally in the forefront. Like, he's the one who was clearly convincing these people to go down this route. You know, I think that the other guy was mostly just being, you know, was like falling into these, I want to say temptations or like falling into this life just because, but I don't think he would have been one to like do this if it wasn't for Geo, if that makes sense. So that like he just felt a little bit more redeemable. He felt like a character that with the right, you know, therapy and with the right, you know, talking with him enough and understanding the whole demon scenario, I feel like he would be a little bit more forgiving. Whereas the other one, I've been calling him Geo. I really do hope his name is Geo. It was something like that, right? Geo just felt a lot more like, it's what Angel and Wes were saying, that he was having fun, that this for him was fun. You could tell, I think for the other ones, it was all about fulfilling their duty and fulfilling this mission. Bursting into Caritas was really one of the most, like, I felt appalled. Like, it just, like, it bothered me so much. I think it was such a strong, powerful, like, really... it just brought up feelings of disgust in me that people would do something like that. I think it hits a little bit too close to home too. It feels very real, right? To break into people's safe spaces with guns. But anyways, I'm not even going to go there. But I feel like personally I needed some sort of like payback for that, which feels bad because I'm usually not a very like, let's kill them all person, because I'm not a huge violence person. But at the same time, I feel like with the amount of violence, emotional and physical, that they just caused, I needed there to be a repercussion for those actions. And I feel like killing off Geo, to me, kind of like scratched that itch, so to say. That's a horrible way to say it. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually just kind of sad, because I wish he could have had a redemption arc. But like, I understand what they're doing, I think is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I do think Fred is a character. Actually, Cordy as well. Not to be a broken record, but I think Fred and Cordy absolutely killed it this episode. And a scene that felt familiar this episode is that I definitely remember Fred singing something about being crazy, so that felt nice. And I do think I remember that one shot of Fred and Wes holding hands or something. It felt a little bit familiar once that started happening. I was like, oh yeah. But in general, Fred, I do have to say I doubted her for a second there. I thought it was so, like, big of Angel to not blame her at all. Like, he was really willing to let Fred kill him and understand it. He was pretty much asking her to kill him. I was like, oh my god, Angel, there's... You know, I know that you're super selfless, but there has to be limits, okay? He's doing some Buffy level of sacrifices where I'm like, please... You've already lost one of you. We're not going through that again. But, you know, I feel like, wow. I mean, I don't even know who I liked more in that scene, because I thought it was so big of Angel to understand that in this way and just really accept that, because it would be what's best for Fred, you know, be willing to die for that. But also Fred, man, being so scared, so scared, because I think out of all the people there, she was definitely the one who must have been the most scared, given, you know, everything that's happened to her, and the fact that she would stand up for him, you know, even though they haven't even met for that long. But I think it just shows her loyalty. You know, I think she's so grateful to them bringing her back to, you know, Earth, sort of like back to life, so to say, in a way. Like, really, so much of this episode was these characters willing to sacrifice themselves for each other, you know, because Gunn sacrificing himself for Lorne, you know, he really put himself in front of Lorne and said, fuck no. And I really, really genuinely appreciate that. I think it's so big. And I think that there were so many different moments of that, you know, Wes running to the stage to grab Fred, who was like freaking out a little and like obviously putting his life on the line. All of them did stuff like that. You know, Cordy, I think Cordy was being so incredibly thoughtful, you know, the fact that we see that Cordy's concern was that she told Fred that she was going to be safe, you know, and wanting to be able to bring her home, you know, without much more trauma, you know, like they were really, I think this episode was all about these characters caring for each other, and I thought that was genuinely a really good payoff, just like really sweet to watch and observe. I'm thinking now about Wes and Gunn's conversation where Wes sort of like threatens Gunn. Because I was trying to think, like, who do I agree with? And I do think that Wes had quite a good stand. I feel like I understand what he was saying. I do think it's like, you know, you can't keep important information like this. That's just causing more and more people or demons to die. So I understand what he was saying. But I do think that, like, I don't think Gunn was necessarily hiding it. I think he was processing it. I think the moment that Gunn, like, you know, really understood what was happening, he was on his way to tell Wes. You know, I don't think he was like sitting on this information for long. I think he was just trying to make sure he had all the information correct, and once he did, you know, act upon that. I'm guessing after all that time, to see that Gunn is still having those nightmares about what he had to do is really sad. He's still haunted by it, and I think that that's definitely, we might not talk about it, but I do think that has to be a major driving force to cause him to do all the things that he does, you know? And I think it does explain his perspective a little bit more from the beginning of the episode of like, you know, demons bad, we can let them kill the demons, you know? In general, I do think this was quite, maybe possibly one of the best monsters of the week that we have seen so far. I think it was a really, really interesting one to see that the threat is actually human, you know, because at first, obviously my mind went to like, you know, demon killer, because duh. But the fact that it all comes, you know, and it's what Wes, was it Wes that was saying this? About not having the excuse of not having a soul, you know, like they have souls and they were still doing this. And I think it really just shows how much people can suck sometimes. So I thought that was a really, really great twist. I think now that I was talking about Wes, I think he really, really proved himself this episode. You know, the more I think about it, I think that he did quite a good job of being in charge. I do have to say that for a moment there, where I think Gunn said something about like, you know, talking to the boss. And for a second I was like, you're talking to him, you know, but no, he actually meant Wes. So I thought that was fun because I mean, I know that Angel's not technically the boss anymore, but I do have to say that my mind immediately went to like, oh, he means that he just wants to talk to Angel, but like Angel the employer, not Angel the friend, even though we've established that Angel the friend doesn't really exist, so that's fine. But I like that he respects Wes so much that he refers to him as the boss and actually genuinely sees him as the boss, because I think that I see Wes as a boss sometimes, but I do think that Angel still stands out to me as potentially being a boss, if that makes sense. I feel terrible for Lorne, who's already going to have to rebuild when literally 3 episodes ago they already freaking smashed a car all over it, and they definitely had to do some renovations. So I hate that he's going to have to do that again. I hate that all of these people that were there, the ones that survived, I don't think they're going to be able to see the Caritas the same way. I don't think they're going to be able to have fun there like they used to. You know, I think that, like, literally emotionally scarring for every single person that was in that bar. I feel like this is something so traumatizing that I don't see how any of them would be able to get over this, especially with it being labeled, you know, the safest place, the place where they don't have to worry about it. So I thought that was really sad, you know, and the second that it started happening, I was like, a fucking course, because they set it up so well in the beginning of the episode, you know, saying, literally, you know, saying it to your face that only demons, it only worked for demons, you know, the little spell or whatever. I mean, I guess we do have to talk about Angel and his horny witches or whatever. Like, what are those? I thought it was interesting that it was 3 of them, because for some reason, I don't know, that, like, whenever I see 3, it kind of just reminds me of, like, fairy godmothers or like, I don't know, the Powerpuff Girls or something like that, I was like, yeah, I guess there is some power in threes. The way that they said Angel's name is going to disturb me for the rest of my life. I don't want to know how he pays those debts. I don't think I'm nailing this. Whatever. I want to see what else they can do. I mean, if they can do something this strong as like, you know, like keeping Caritas a violence-free demon violence-free place. I want to know, like, what else can we do? Can we, you know, do some Wolfram and Hart spells to fuck them up? No offense, not that I'm out to get them, but maybe I am. It was interesting that we didn't see Wolfram and Hart at all this episode, or Darla. I mean, I do have to say that ending there, I was trying to focus on what Angel said because I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to like talk about it, but at the same time I was like, are you guys gonna show me Darla though? Because, you know, we've had her for the last 2 episodes, and so I was waiting for a little, like, you know. So I'm excited because this means that, like, I don't know how long she's gonna take to get here, but I will be ready for it as soon as she does. I am very excited for that. Truly. I think it's gonna change the season completely, and I am so excited for whatever episode that happens. And please God, I'm praying that it's already the next one because I don't want to wait because it's so interesting. I mean, I can't imagine how Wolfram and Hart is going to feel about this as well, unless it was all part of their plan, like unless they were involved in getting Darla pregnant somehow, which I wouldn't say is completely off the table. I have to talk about Fred and Cordy for a while. I do like how Angel's sort of like pushing that relationship because I think he sees it in a similar way than I do, which is like, you know, if she has to find someone to bond with, like, you know, in the group, I do think Cordy is the one that makes natural sense. I do see that like gravitational pull of like, you know, they just got to be best friends, you know, because also they're the first ones in the group who met, right? So it just like all of it makes sense. And, you know, like I said, it was sweet to see Cordelia being like protective over Fred and making sure that she's okay. And I'm honestly a little bit worried for Fred though. I think this, like I was saying, that they're all probably going to be traumatized by this. I do think Fred might be one of the people that's going to be most traumatized. Does this mean that she's really not going to want to leave for a couple months again until she's ready to face it? Or maybe going out and having shit go to hell makes her realize that, like, even if bad things happen, that doesn't mean that she can't go out again. Like, that doesn't mean that she's going to end up in another dimension where she's treated like hell. You know, maybe she's going to realize that, like, the worst case scenario isn't as bad, and maybe that's going to bring her some comfort. But anyways, I'm curious to see how that journey is going to go for her. I'm kind of really upset that this had to happen to her whenever she's going out, but, you know, at least she's going to have Cordy to get her through. And I think it's sweet that even though they seem to be focusing on this friendship, which, please, is literally all I have ever wanted from life, I do think it's sweet that so much of it is coming from Angel in the sense of, like, he cares about Fred so much, but I like that he's trying to do something and the way that he thinks is going to get through to her the best way. Because, of course, Angel could go there and talk to Fred himself, but I think he knows that, like, Cordy might be able to get through to her in a different way. So I kind of like that Angel's, like, thinking things through as, like, what is the best way to help Miss Fred? I love them so much. Talking about Angel, I do think he showed a very different side of him in the intro. You know, I'm still thinking about Merl. I'm very upset about that, but I thought it was funny that Angel seemed like such a child in the beginning of the episode. I mean, I was definitely Team Merl because Angel was like not putting his heart into it. He was like being a spoiled little brat, but it was such a fun thing to see. You know, because he's a character that's like hundreds of years old. You know, he's supposed to be the most mature one, but it's kind of fun to be able to look back and see that, like, nah, he's still like a child at heart sometimes. So that was fun. I thought it was a really fun episode. I think we should read the title of the next one. Carpe Noctem. And I'm going to brush up on my Latin? Girl, what? I mean, Carpe Diem, seize the day. So, Carpe Noctem, seize the night? Oh, is that... Am I... Right? That would make sense, right? Come on, like, Noichi, Noctem. You know what? I'm going to stick to that. So if we're seizing the night, that means vampires. And do you know what vampires mean? Darla. So true. Goodbye. See you next week.